Hello, my name is Christian Rowe. This is my presentation on the graphic designer Finetta Millier. Millier is a French-born graphic designer who primarily works in print-based media such as book covers, posters, and environmental graphics. Millier said in an interview with Novum in 2019 that her reason for focusing on print-based media was because, quote, "My dad was a printer, so my passion is undoubtedly linked to him." When describing the use of color in her work, Millier stated, "Color is a fundamental in my work. I use it in a functional way for classification and to create a hierarchy of the contents, and in a poetic way. The colors add movement to the forms, sometimes in unpredictable ways, because I allow part of the printing process to be random." In her work Jardin Infini, a book for an exhibition about gardens seen through the eyes of modern and contemporary artists, Millier says, "The green becomes immersive and connects to the exhibition." Millier used primarily natural greens and earthy tones for the color of this work. Like as she stated, the color connects back to the exhibition, natural colors seen in gardens. Millier also experimented with form through use of cutouts, such as on the cover of the book. There's a cut in the cover revealing the page beneath where the title is, and pop-outs within the book, which normally you would only see in things like children's books. However, Millier adds them to this professional work. Similarly, in Millier's Art Solide, Millier states, "With the help of halos and photophosphorescent effects, the color spreads an energy that is almost immaterial." In this work, Millier entirely portrays shapes like the sun and experiments with color through their use. Nature was an inspiration for these two previous works, such as the sun and gardens, but when discussing other designs where nature serves as a large inspiration, such as Dans la Lune and Le Papillon Imprimé, Millier describes the forms she takes from nature, such as the moon and the butterfly, as universal and have a special connection to space and time. In Dans la Lune, Millier depicts the lunar cycle. She describes the concept and methods to create the project, quote, "A sensitive progression through the lunar cycle in 8 Pantone inks. The waxing moon diffuses a subtle palette of colored white tones. When waning, the dark side is revealed by a successive series of overprinted layers." And you can see that project, or that progress, starting at a sliver moon, that goes to a blacked out moon, that opens up to a full moon, and then repeats the process going backwards. Le Papillon Imprimé features prints inspired by moths and butterflies. Millier used silkscreen, offset, and hot gliding while printing to give different areas of color unique textures. And again, this calls back to how she allows a small amount of randomness within the printing process, meaning that it's not just each page is unique, but each page in each individual book has small unique aspects to them. Pangram is an exhibition that also serves as a typographic workshop. It blends the lines between fine arts and graphic design. Over 1,000 copies of each individual letter of the alphabet was printed. Those who came to the exhibition were encouraged to experiment with the printed letters and create their own compositions through them. So that's the workshop aspect of it. Pangram itself combines the exhibition and presentation of fine arts, the typography and creation of graphic design, and interactivity with her audience. Serigraphique is a teaching kit made to teach the concepts of graphic design to school children. It features one 48-page booklet and 5 posters. Serigraphique covers typography, color, data visualization, image, and layout. Each poster was intended to be designed in a simple way to easily convey graphic design principles to the students it was meant to be teaching. In Millier's type poster, the poster itself displays the different weights in fonts. This is going from the etc. goes from regular to bold to ultra bold. Different font classifications such as a serif, a sans serif, a script, and more. Different fonts themselves. How type size influences how we perceive text. How type is built within a grid, and the full Unicode alphabet at the bottom of the page. In Millier's color poster, she shows a CMYK color palette, as that's what prints are made with, that color palette. She shows additive and subtractive color mixing, so we see the CMYK blues and yellow make a green, the red and magenta make a red. Examples of toning, we see that black to white. And then the interpretation of an object being changed from its color. So the green cross is just that, cross, but when it's red, it becomes associated with hospitals and medicines or organizations such as the Red Cross. In Millier's data visualization poster, she shows off examples of data visualization through a number of graphs, such as pie charts or bar graphs and thermometers, along with how data is divided through the use of color, such as that pie chart where each slice is given a color to differentiate itself from the rest. In Millier's image poster, she shows off imagery by showing multiple different renderings of an eye, so we can see an eye as a photograph, a naturalistic drawing in a cartoonish style, an eye created through simplified shapes, 2 circles and a rectangle, and a 3D model of an eye opened up so you could see its interior, like you'd see in some sort of doctor's office or medical presentation, amongst other renderings. So it's showing off all the different ways a single object can be shown to an audience. The final poster for layout, Millier gives examples of in the form of balance between text and image on a page, how text is put into grids, whether that be a 2-column grid or a 3-column grid, compares them. Text alignment, such as right aligned, centered aligned, left aligned, and how the rags of the text interact. The variety of ways image and text can be placed onto the page. You see examples of fairly standard placements, one page, just text, one with just image, text at the top of the page, with image at the bottom. Or in the bottom left, we have that experimental example where there's these blocks and images all turned and tilted in non-standard positions. And then also how text is read on different formats. So we see it placed on a book, placed on a phone, and placed on a tablet. Millier, as a designer herself, blurs the line between design and fine arts. She works in a wide range of both materials and media, and her inspiration comes not just from other designers, but from nature itself. Thank you for listening.